If you see NADH coming out of here, do you think this is a reduced form or an oxidized form of NAD? Reduced form. We know that because we see this hydrogen right here. So that means that somewhere along here there must be an oxidation if I'm reducing NAD. We'll save those. Those go into mitochondria. The pyruvate from glycolysis, which happens out in the cytoplasm, is transported into the mitochondria where it's prepared a little bit and fed into this thing called the citric acid cycle. This picture says Krebs cycle. And there are two places in here where energy is released and we make some ATP from that as well. But only two. So both of these, the type of ATP production that we have here where these two are produced is called substrate level ATP production. So we're going to call this substrate phosphorylation. And all that means is the substrate here was the organic compound. The energy to do the phosphorylation to make the ATP came from the organic compound. So it didn't come from redox reaction or anything like that. It actually comes from the organic compounds. So these two here, the ATP that's produced in the Krebs cycle and glycolysis, we call that substrate level phosphorylation. Then the products of the citric acid cycle, which are just these more reduced carriers here, right? So these are the electrons here, are fed into the electron transport chain or electron transport system. Depending upon conditions and where this is occurring, what type of cell this is occurring, we'll get a variety of ATP. I think we saw briefly, and we'll look at it again, is that number could be realistically about 30. Could be as high as, depending on certain conditions and where we are, 38. So the question is that we have to answer or be able to understand here also is not only how does the electron transport system work to allow us to produce a lot of ATP, but why is it that under some cases we get 30 and under other cases we get 38? So it's just that's just a bookkeeping kind of thing, but I think it conceptually helps us understand all of that. So let me walk you through. All right, I'll do an overview of a little bit more detail.